Okay. What's up, YouTube? Hope. Good morning, Ella. Good morning, bro. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day. So, you're gonna go down from the weekly chart again. There's this huge retracement in here on the weekly chart. Seems to me it's kind of interesting because we took not just a simple weekly low down here, we took the low of August. So, it's the same way we look at the previous cycles, the 90-minute cycles. For the higher time frames, it is the monthly and the weekly lows. And when it's also a monthly and a weekly low, just like this, price could just shift after it takes specific lows that are monthly or bi-weekly. So it's very interesting, especially since we have not taken the August low on ES. So what does that mean? We've got an SMT between monthly swings on the weekly chart. So that is a very powerful type of telltale sign that price would want to show us if it wants to shift. I'm just keeping that in mind. I'm not saying it now it's going to start moving higher, even though it could, but that is a really good telltale sign that if price wants to shift, it would do it in here. So there's really is no need for price to come below this low that has been created yesterday if it wants to start moving higher, because that's a very specific level. So drop down into the daily charts. Uh, right now, what I'm looking at is this swing low in here. This swing low. See that? That low, then this low right in here, the July low. Um, right now, the experience that I have, and what should I call it? The muscle memory that I have built through time. What it's trying to show me is this range in here. That could be the first. This is a market structure shift down here. It could be now. I'm not saying it is. This down here is a market structure shift. That's a market maker buy model. This could be a redistribution from market maker buy model in here. That SMT. This accumulation and everything. Or if price wants to continue moving lower, this is the market maker sell model. And this is the market maker buy model if price wants to move higher. Now, that seems like a guessing game. It's not. It's not a guessing game. Right now, all I need to do is just wait for things to get obvious. But since price reached up in here and it's under it, we're going to stick with the idea that this is the market maker sell model and price trying to expand. But as soon as it closes above the constant encroachment, I mean the mean threshold of this candle in here, we will be sure that we are working with this market maker buy model and all our eyes would be up here. So now I'm just going to drop down to the lower time frames, 4 hour chart. Hope that makes sense. Get rid of that. Coming in here, this lows, that's where the S&T has happened. So if price wants to keep going higher, we should not have any resistance moving higher from here on out. Okay, there's this high, there's this high. Right now I'm trying to see, do we have any SMTs in this leg? We might have one in here. From this side, that low, we're in premium. We're in deep premium in there. Okay, I'm just going to drop down to the hourly chart. Okay, go back to the hourly chart. Previous day high. We have already taken the previous day high. That's interesting. Okay, so if price was to shift and start going lower, it has already done enough. It has already done enough. It's at the equilibrium of this high to this low. That's basically equilibrium. It has taken the previous day's high. Liquidity has been taken. We are also in this new week opening gap. Okay, so the other leg we have is this leg, this low to that high, but there's no need for price to retrace back into it if it wants to keep on expanding higher. There really is no need for price to come back into this range from this low to this high. It does not need to come back into it if it wants to keep moving higher. Mm, I'm just going to go down to 15-minute chart. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. Well, why I said nice right there was because, see, after we take the previous day's high in there, we have just been accumulating and we have not been doing anything else. We have just been working in a range. So that gives the AM session a little bit more room to move around and create more ranges, do the expansion for the day and everything. Yesterday, it was very tricky, mostly because we had a lot of expansion before the AM session. The previous day high, I've already taken that. Okay, really, when I have accumulations like this, it eases up a lot of things. The higher time frames, working with the 4 hour chart and everything, I really don't need to mark out higher time frame ranges as much as I need to normally when we have such an accumulation before the M session. Because whatever we're going to do, that's accumulation. I'm going to try to identify how the manipulation happens, and I just want to stick with the distribution, the expansion. I don't really need to stick with the higher time frame narrative because whatever the higher time frame narrative is, this accumulation to distribution that's going to happen next to this accumulation will be the right move. I don't need to play any guessing game. So next is 10 o'clock. Okay, 9:30. Accumulation low, previous cycle high, previous cycle high, previous cycle high. Uh, Great. Let's see. Okay, accumulation low. That's ES. Do we have any sort of SMTs with ES? That's what I'm trying to see. Okay. Yep, we do. So now I'm interested in hmm, a bit tricky, but this. I'm interested in this. Why? Why am I interested in that? Because right in here, we've got an SMT with ES in here. Even though this is an accumulation, I can see the market maker sell model within it as well. But, so this is a market maker sell model. the market structure shift up here. And right in here, we've got an SMT with ES, secondary distribution of a market maker sell model. Even though it's an accumulation, it works within some sort of market maker model. So then that there goes, that's the Reaper. Not in any other normal conditions, what I would have done is once we have done that, when we reach into this, I would have taken a sell from right there and looked for us to come down to this low. But since this is very, very tight, a very, very tight range, what I would like to do is I want to see it how it reacts once it's reached into this inversion fair value gap in here. And after it reacts to that, if it wants to attack this low, I should get some type of PD array for continuation into down here, down to this lows and this new opening gap. Because if price wants to just keep on moving higher from where it's at, there's no need for it to respect this. So that's the narrative. That's the narrative that I'm trying to work with. Uh, this in here will be a very, very interesting type of inversion fair value gap. I'm not going to mark it. The fair value gap that was created at 9:30. How we use that is going to be very interesting to me because once we close above it, I wouldn't want to see us close below it. But if we just close above it, reach up into the previous cycle high, then shift, start going lower and close below it, I'll use that for a sell. So those are the different types of scenarios that I'm looking forward to. How big of a range that are we working in? Now, this is a reasonable type of range, I would say so. The range that we're working in right now. These are very reasonable ranges. Yesterday's range were kind of crazy. By the way, Ella, is the mic echo? Is it echoing? If you could tell me that, that would be great. Like I'll try to fix it. Mm, London lows reside down here. There really is no need for price to come down here if it wants to keep going higher long term. There really is no need for it to come down in here. There really is no need for price to come down here, take the London lows and everything. That shows us it's weak on the higher time frames. If we get a sell model going further into the session or the day. After we took the accumulation low, see that the swing that took the accumulation low. What's up, big man? Hope you're having a great day, bro. Hope you're having a great day. You trading today, or have you already taken your trades? Hmm. Well, I'm a bit hit up on the head even yesterday. This my mental stuff is just not on point. No trades yet, but looking for long still till Monday high. Okay, okay. Yeah, it looks like it should be shifting after taking the August low, the low of August. If it wants to keep moving higher, I don't expect the AM session to be continuing to expand lower if it wants to actually go higher long term. Okay, we just took that low. We have got an SMT with ES. Okay. I want ES to follow up just to show me that it wants to rage, continue raging lower. So this level in here, this, that is equilibrium of the higher time frames range. That's where the new week opening gap is situated, and we have also taken the previous day's high. So a lot of PD arrays have been met in here, a lot of them. So there really is no need for price to go higher if it wants to shift lower. There, everything it needs to do, it has done it if it wants to go lower long term. But if it wants to go higher, it needs to just simply disqualify all of those PDRs that I mentioned, and it needs to have speed above them if the higher time frame wants to be in a long term bullish market. Or especially after the accumulation we had since the 7 a.m. macro. And notice we have not even created the first presentation yet. Possible. It's possible that we're going to create first presentation right in here. It will flag. Nope. Okay, yep. I expect us to stay above this if price wants to keep moving higher. Or it couldn't. That's just maybe it's a yeah, yeah, it could be. Hey, that's a high impact news, 10 a.m. I can take one trade before the news if it gives me some type of shorting opportunity on at 9:45. If I get shorting opportunity at 9:45, I'm going to be able to take it. But unless and otherwise, there is nothing for me right now. Ugh. If it's able to take this low again, I would expect it to expand a bit more further because that is an SMT low. Okay. So now this right in here, that's sort of a balanced price range as well. If price tries to reach down into the low of it, I would expect speed below it because it disqualifies it as a PDRA. I can see how this could shift from here, but if 945 gives me some type of PDRA to short from, I should take it. Even though I could see how this could be the low of the session going forward, and we could keep moving higher. But according to the model, I know if 1045 gives me an absolutely okay type of bearish PDRA, I should take it as a short. Even though I can see how this could be the shift. So let's see. Ooh, just expanding higher. Okay. Okay, it closed very heavy, so I can't use that. If 946 becomes a bearish order block, I could use that, but only if it becomes bearish PDR. I mean, a bearish order block, that is. Mhm, 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 mhm. It's just expanding. I had no chance to get in there. There was nothing for me to use. Let's see if this, how this closes. Okay, nothing for me again. There's just nothing you could use for a short right there. If this is going to trade above this high, I won't get in. But if before we trade above this high, I get an entry down there, I will take that as a short. But this needs to close as a bearish order block first. So it did. Okay. So I would. I'm in the trade. Wait, give me a second. Mm, I have to take that as a short. My stop loss would be right here. Is right here. Wait. Share the trade screen. And my take profit is down here. Something like that. I had to take that. I waited for it, and it gave me what I was expecting. So it was just perfect, like Zomodo. Okay, since we have actually just taken that low as well right now, that justifies it as a model, but this is a very, very tricky type of market condition. One to be very careful of. This has been just jigsawing up and down, up and down, up and down. So that got really close to my take profit target and it immediately shifted. Now it could just tag me out, but that was just perfectly according to what I was expecting. So I'm okay with it. That was crazy fast. Wait, I got in right there. It was, let me see. It was five handles away from my take profit. It shifted and stopped me at the end. I could see how nasty it is, but it was just perfectly executed. Now I'm just going to wait for 10 o'clock. If we trade above this before 10 o'clock, that would mean I will need to start looking for longs at 10 o'clock. It tagged it, but it didn't actually move above it. So I'm just waiting right now. That was literally really close to the take profit and immediately shifted and went to the stop loss target. Well done. It stopped me out, bro. But it still was well done. Wow. Okay, now that would mean market structure has shifted for me because it moved above the 10 9:45 candle. That would mean market structure has shifted. But at 10 o'clock, we need to be above the first presentation. And while we're above the first presentation, we should get something 10 o'clock that shows us it wants to move higher. That is the market structure shift right there. Right? It should no, if price wants to again attack this low, it should stay below this. It should stay below this inversion in here. Should stay below it. If price wants to start moving lower. If I hadn't taken this short, I would have absolutely taken this one. Yeah, that is if I hadn't, but because I had already taken that trade, I just like to wait for 10 o'clock. Now we just hit the consequent encroachment of that beautifully. So that's like this, the line in the sand. Uh, uh, 760. As long as we are still below this, markets are still in a sell program. As long as it stays below this. That would have been a really neat trade if I hadn't gotten the chance to get in there. Perfectly rushed into it. It's just expanding away from it. So this high in here, that's our protected level. If price reruns this high, the previous cycle high becomes the next target. Unless and otherwise, it is just kicking to the bear short flow from this market maker sell model up here. Okay, beautiful. It's beautiful how it just reached into it and shifted. So now, right now, how I'm seeing it, the next target would be the London lows. It is just sticking with this market measure sell model that was started up here. So what does that mean for me? 10 o'clock, I'm going to look for shorts again. 10 o'clock for an expansion down to the London lows. Give me one sec. The first presentation, since we have closed below it, and the this fair value gap in here, I would love to see them act as resistance. Keep it below, especially the first presentation. The first presentation isn't fair value, present fair value gap. It's just been jigsawing. Now, looking at it right now, it's just been jigsawing in here, reached into the premium from this high, did this low premium plus the repair in here, shifted. Remember how I marked out way before even we reached up in there? We're in here. That was what I was looking at for the shift continuation. So you got it. Just want us to stick with it. News coming in a minute. Okay. I wouldn't want to see price go up and close above this in here. I don't want to see us close above this. That would be the first sign it would show us that it wants to start moving higher and attack the previous cycle high and this high. So I would want to see it stick below this in here. First line in the sand, the first presentation. Second line on the sand, this inversion. Last line on the sand is this high. So firstly, never wouldn't want to see it above this, close above it. If you can do that, that's the first telltale sign to want to shift. But I'm not looking for a shift. I'm looking for a continuation at 10 o'clock. Hey, news coming in. Let's see how this closes. If it just wants to keep on expanding lower, even using the 10 o'clock candle, I would need to wait for a fair value gap, or if it has a huge wick, I would wait for it to close below the wick. Or it could just shift in here and start heading higher. Yep, above the first line in the sand, just like I said. Okay, also closed above this. So now, for me to take any type of longs, I would need to wait for 15 more minutes. But for shorts, all I want to see is it trading below the open of the 10 hour, the 10 hour open. If you can do that, I'll take short, but I'm not going to look for longs right now. Right now, that also it is showing me that it wants to start moving higher. It wants to start a move higher to attack the previous cycle high. That's what it's showing me, but I'm not going to take any trades in here right now. If it takes this high, I'll completely shift to a buy model. I'll start looking for buys and move above this high. Because just like I said before, the 10 o'clocks candle opened, first line in the sand, second line in the sand, third line in the sand. I'm going to wait for the third line in the sand to be absolutely destroyed. Once it does that, I will shift my bias to looking for longs for continuation. But even to do that, I will be patient for like around 15 more minutes and use the 15-minute open to take my trade. So right now, I'm waiting for it to move above this. That will be the last nail in the coffin that price has shifted. But until then, I'm just gonna hold my guns. because it could just reach back into this reaper and shift and keep going lower. That's why I don't want to shift just yet until we take this high. So for a short, for me, if I want to take a short, I'll need to see it close below this, the fair value gap that was created at 10 o'clock. It's still respecting it. It is not shifted for me. There you go. Now it is shifted. Now I'm looking for longs. That means I'm going to look for longs. I need to see ES do the same thing. I need to see ES do the same exact thing. So, when the stream started, we're looking at the daily chart and the July low down here. The July low would be the market structure shift for the higher time frame for continuation higher. August low, even though ES took the August low, what did ES do? And Q did take that low, but ES wasn't able to take that low. So the market maker buy model we could be potentially working with should be this down in here, this low down here that took this relative equal lows. That would be the market maker shift, the market maker buy models market structure shift. Secondary distribution, reaccumulation was in here. So it should just stick one-sided moving higher if we are to attack all-time highs again. But for me to be completely marry the idea that it wants to keep going higher long term, I will need to see it close above the mean threshold of this candle in here. This candle that's reached up to the daily inversion fair value gap low in here that's reached and brought all this chaos lower. I will need to see price close above the midpoint, the mean threshold of that. If it can do that, that reassures me that long term price would want to attack this high, and eventually create new all-time highs. So that is the narrative. Hmm. Now I'm just waiting for about 9 more minutes to get an opportunity to take a long. Yeah. Mm. Okay, we reached now. The other interesting thing here is the fact that we reached into the low of the new week opening gap. It's just bouncing off it, bouncing off it, bouncing off it. It shouldn't resist price that much if it wants to move higher. It should just move through it, just disqualify through it. If, of course, it wants to continue moving higher, it shouldn't have so much resistance against new week opening gaps. But if it have got resistance against new week opening gaps, what you'd want to see is when the 15 minutes in the hourly opens come, or even the 5 minute opens come, we could get those those PD type of candles within those. Okay, there you go. Now, what is going to be the reaction once we take the previous cycle high? If, okay, we just took it, right? Now, if it creates a fair value gap in here, I am not going to use it for a buy. Instead, I'll just wait. That is wait. Let's see first if it actually gives us a fair value gap. If it gives us a fair value gap right in there, I'll just wait for it to close below it. I'm not going to use it to just buy. I want to see us. Uh, okay, we're not gonna have a fair value gap in the first place, so I better just keep my mouth shut. Okay, that reaction is not so promising. Actually, it is kind of promising because if there was a fair value gap, that would have been the inversion that would send us to this relative equal lows down here. But because there's no fair value gap, instead, if it's completely balancing that range, that is a bit more stronger reaction for for a show that it wants to move above it. But that reaction after we took the previous cycle high, uh, it's kind of interesting. If we now again are able to take this high, that that is another sign that it wants to keep moving higher. Because if it wants to shift, it should do it now. If it wants to shift, and if all this move higher was just a manipulation to start moving lower, it should not go much further than above this high. Why? One, this high was taken at when within the macro. The macro still hasn't ended when we take this previous cycle high. So what does that mean? That could be that little program that's running within the market. Now the macro has done this specific thing, so now it can shift. So the next sign would be us taking this high within any type of swing. Otherwise, it might be problematic. Okay, that's kind of problematic. But yeah, we're going to stick with longs now. I'm not saying I have shifted. I've shifted now. I'm looking for shorts. I'm not saying that now. Right now, I'm just looking for longs. After 5 minutes, if it can give me those media rates to take a long from, I'm gonna just notch them out of its hand. Really nice how we retraded back into that Reaper even after closing back above it. We're still respecting it. See that? How it came and bounced at the constant encroachment, and it's bouncing above it. Hmm. Really beautiful reaction on ES as well, by the way. How we took the low down here with an SMT with NQ on ES. Mhm, 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 mhm. Both the high and the low of that accumulation that was pre-market, it has been taken. Was the high and the low. So I'm just going to get rid of the Reaper in here, and I'm going to mark this in here in the 5 minutes because I would love to see us close above it. I would need to see us close above it. Otherwise, all this move higher could be just a manipulation so that price could continue moving higher. The 1 minute chart, of course, we have closed above it, but the 5 minute chart needs to close above it. Otherwise, all that could be just manipulation. So the leg from this low to this high, this count comes right in there. Just switched into discount, okay. For me to take a short going forward, I'll need to see us close below this. Close below this. before 10:15, and at 10:15 I want to see price. So unless we close below this, why? Why this? Why this specifically? Because it was created at 10 o'clock. Okay, it just now that's okay. That's completely permissible. But closing below it would make immediately make me look for shorts at 10:15 instead of longs. See? See that? That's reaction in there. That is very significant. I am even able to take my shorts right in there. If you close below it right now, I could just use this as an inversion fair value gap and just get in there. Why? Because that's a PD area that I was looking forward to, and that would be a high risk trade, type of a high risk trade, but that type of trade I could still snatch into because all this move higher, it shows me that oh, okay, all that was just manipulation of this accumulation that was marked out way early before the session started. Okay, we still have not gotten a body below it. Until that happens, I'm just going to stick with longs. As soon as we get a body below this this fair value gap in here, that would be the shift for me. Okay, I'll try to get some type of premium type of entry if we close below it now. So we did. So let's see how far higher can it go right here. It hasn't tagged me in, but because I've now closed below it, I can take my short as such. Even if it stops me out, I'll still look for another short at 10:15. I mean, going further into the 10:15 candle, but this is a very sticky type of market condition. Jesus Christ. Let's see how this closes. The next two candles close. If it now goes below the low of this candle, I'll take the short. I'm waiting for this to close up. I'm waiting for this to go below this. Can't do that. I'm gonna take the short. I'm going to need to see it go below that. I've got my limit order in the markets, but not in the trade just yet. Let me share the screen. Just waiting for it to trade below that. Yeah, very tricky. This is just seek and destroy. Just moving higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower. It's just destroying every single entry. You just cannot be profitable in this. Okay. Looking at this right now in here. I'm going to close above that. That's what I'm trying to see. If we can do that, I'm going to take that as secondary distribution, even though it is very jigsaw. We have got an SMT with ES, so if it can close above that, I can long that and stop loss would be down here. And that would be my last trade for the day. This is very, very nasty. Okay, I've got the limit order right there. So yeah, if it can now trade back into this, that would be the last trade for me for the day. Because see, any type of longs or even shorts, they're just being stopped out again and again and again and again and again and again. No one is getting permission to be profitable within this. If it can trade back into that, I'll get in right there. There you go. That's being shared. And I'll look for 50 handles into the constant corresponding to this. That is if it can retrace back in there and tag me in. Unless and otherwise, I'll just wait for 10 more minutes. And this would be actually my last trade for the day. Ugh. Mhm, 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 mhm. So now, if it takes that high, I will need to wait another 10 more minutes for my entry before it takes me into a trade. If it takes that high, which it's going to most likely do, I will need to wait for 10 more minutes. But before it takes this high, if it comes down right now and takes me in, I'm okay to be in that trade. But before I get in, if it can take this high, I'll just stay out and wait for 10:30. Very jigsaw type of market condition. Jesus Christ. It was the same thing earlier yesterday. Okay, I should be in the trade. Not really. Come on. Come on, baby. It got there to the tick, but it didn't tag me in. Mm, mm, mhm, mhm, mhm. It's almost got to it, but it really didn't actually tap it. So I wasn't backed into the trade. These are very, very nasty conditions, though. Godly. You cannot be in a bias and be profitable in any long format. It just suddenly shifts, cracks, and stops you out. You cannot be in a sell and be profitable. It just immediately shifts and cracks you out. So these are just the perfect examples of a seek and destroy type of market condition. Still have not taken that high. If we get to 1027 and I'm not still in a trade, I will still pull the trade and wait for 1030, even if it tries to tag me in after 1027. I'd rather wait a little bit because this could still just shift and start going lower. Nothing is certain because we're just still continuing from this accumulation in here. We have taken the high, the low, the high, low equilibrium. Now we're back up on the highs. I'm just waiting for 1030 to clear up things. If we can't do anything now. Mm, Yep, we just took that high. So I'm gonna take out the limiter. This should technically this should have taken me in because it was just at it, but it didn't. So that's just life. That's just trading. I'm just gonna wait for 5 more minutes, and if I get another bullish PD array, I'll take the long. This just would have been a perfect entry down there, just on the head, like bong. But that's just life. It didn't get me in right there. Let's wait for 10:30. Let it. I'm going to wait for it to clear up. Hmm. This is Monday's high. Monday was a bank holiday, but that's the high. Uh, Actually, I would just expect it to be a one-way market. If price wants to just keep moving higher, it should be just be one-way market after this because it is manipulated. Everyone that needs to be manipulated have been manipulated in here. Like everyone. It wouldn't want to again move higher, come back and move higher. There's no need for price to do that. There's no need to do that unless of course this leg as well is a manipulation leg. There really is no need for price to come back in here. It has done all the shenanigans that it needs to do. Yes, that could be good for a narrative going forward for me. I could use it as a narrative. Okay. This used to be the exactly perfect market conditions that I used to blow up my accounts in. Just perfect market conditions to blow accounts in. Here they are. Now, since we have taken this high, if it wants to close above it, I will use that to get in. If we can close above it, like a good body. If we get a good body, oh, it's right there above it. But unless we get that, I'm not gonna do anything because okay, we didn't get that. So, mm, okay, pain 30 coming up. Don't rush, rush, don't rush. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a minute there. Later, bro. Yeah, this is not a market condition I would risk too much. I'm not gonna take more than one trade within this. This is just shenanigans. Pure shenanigans. Nothing else, just pure shenanigans. I wouldn't want to be risking a lot of capital within this or any type of too much risk type of trading. Okay, now that would have tagged me in technically a penalty, but because we took that high, I would like to just wait a bit more. Now can it close above this? If it does that, I'll get in. The plus would go down there. It's most likely gonna do that. Don't know if it's going to tag me in, but let's see. So it got back to that history price I had earlier. Okay, not yet, not yet, not yet. Okay, just left the limit order right there. Second. There you go. Now, if it comes back into that, I'll get in right on it. There you go. Okay, we have got a little fair value gap here. Should be able to go down there. But I'm in the trade. I'm not gonna tinker with it anymore. I'm just gonna let go of it. If it goes to automatic profit, it goes to automatic, but I don't want to take any other trades with this type of market condition. Just too much going on. These are the seek and destroy type of market conditions that ICT blaps about. If you don't know when to stop in this type of conditions, you're going to absolutely fail in trading. You're going to absolutely fail if you are not able to stop yourself from taking too many trades when the conditions get as nasty as it is right now. Take the punch, take the losses, and just get away from them. I know tomorrow is gonna be a way much more better market condition than this. So I'd rather take more risk, more better positions in those type of market conditions rather than risking all my capital when it gets as nasty as this. Mm, it is funded. Copy trading 3 funded accounts. If you lost money within this, trying to trade this, it's okay. It's okay. These are the harder days. These are the days that uh 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 take out the traders that are actually not going to survive. They're mostly gonna get toasted within this. But if you can survive this like this, if you can survive, if you can preserve your capital when days like this come, when days that want to, yo, bro, can I ask you something? Sure, bro, go ahead. But when days like this come, you can stay away, protect your capital, and know when to come back, when to stop, when to not risk much more than you should. Just survive for tomorrow. Just survive for another week. Just survive for another month. Both mentally and financially. If you can do that, you're gonna be okay. You're just gonna be absolutely okay. Just make sure you do that continuously. You're able to survive. Make sure you're able to survive continuously, both your capital and your mental energy, and just don't bash yourself. Because I know how nasty it is to have losing days. It's even though you know your model works, your trading system works, the way you trade is absolutely valid. Even though you know that, but a losing day, it just creeps on you. The questions, the doubts, they just creep on you. They just lay on you. Am I able going to do it? Am I able going to survive with trading? Am I able just? Am I gonna be just another statistic? Even though you've been profitable for months and months. Yep, I'm from Ethiopia. Even though you're profitable, you know, you're profitable and you've been doing it for months and years. When a losing day comes, it's kind of creepy. It creeps on you however much you have worked on your mental stuff, however much you know that in the long term you can do it, but it just creeps on you having a losing day. Just make sure you don't just having another hobbies, having other things to do other than trading, that's when they shine. For example, for me, it's the gym. I just love to work out. Futures charts. Futures charts. This one, the main screen, the one that I chart on, this one is from Project X. There's another funded company that I used to trade with. Right now, I have maxed them out. I'm just waiting for a review because I'm getting moved to a live account with them. Still under review with them, but I can use their charts. Now we have reached into the constant encroachment of that, so we're just bouncing off that. We could just bounce, shift, and start moving higher, continue this chop, or we could move above it. But I'm not going to just touch my trade. I'm not gonna get over it. I'm not gonna touch any parts of it. So, uh, future stars. So this is just Project X, or you could just pay for the premium on TradingView. But I've got Project X, so there really is no need for me to be charting an TradingView because the charts are a bit more faster on Project X. But there's this prop called Tick Tick. The one that I'm charting with, they're called Tick Tick. The trades that I'm actually taking on, they're called YRM. So different props, but yeah, it works. This right here, by the way, that is the consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap in here. This huge new week opening gap you have, that is the consequent encroachment of it. Now we're getting some resistance at the consequent encroachment. But just like I said, I'm not gonna move my stop loss or take profit. I'm just gonna let go of the trade, do its thing, whatever it wants. I don't really care. Funding ticks, they're not allowed in. No, not funding ticks. It's tick tick. Tick. I think they're located in Turkey. Pretty cool, pretty cool guys. But they're the amount of time they need to move people to a live account. That's kind of nasty. Jesus Christ. I've seen people right in there waiting for like 6 months under review, accounts paused for over 6 months. That's kind of crazy. It doesn't take 6 months to go over someone's account. It doesn't take 6 months. And actually there aren't even that many traders that got to the live funded stage. But to actually get you to the live funded stage, the good thing is that so the thing I think they're gonna do is they're gonna move me to about 15K of real capital. And once they do that, I'm going to be able to withdraw anytime. For example, if I make like $1,500 just like today on that account, like immediately I can go ahead and withdraw it within seconds. That's the great thing about them. So what I'm trying to do right now is so within the time from now till till they actually move me to a live account, I've got some time. So if I can get enough payouts from YRM, they're going to move me to a live account as well. So between now and then, I can merge those two accounts. I cannot actually merge them because they are different props. So I can copy trade live accounts within two prop firms using I can use Ninja Trader or some what are they called? They're this copy traders that work on a server, not on the PC, but on a server. So that would be great. That is the plan right now. Just waiting for them to move me. And once they do, just copy trade them with YRMs. It's sick that the prop that I'm trading with right now. I've got a video on it on YouTube. But I was actually the first ever trader to trade with them. And I was the first ever, no, to get a payout from them. And that part was kind of cool. That part was that part was kind of cool. I wish they did something though. So there you go. That's the trade. That again was copy traded again across three counts. That was a long coming, but got my fill, got the trade. Pretty fun, pretty nice. It was shared, right? Let me show you guys. That was copy traded across three accounts again, right there, across these three accounts. So pretty cool. That was a really long trade, but we got it. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, I can go over them. But that's it. That was a nice trade, but it took its time. Once we got in down here, let me see. Yeah, that was a nice one. We got in right there, we ripped back into it. Boom, and it was just we had only two red candles. It was just a one way streak. We got it. It was nice. So see you guys tomorrow. Don't be a degenerate in these market conditions. Yeah. On the daily chart, last thing, I'm gonna do this and go out. This down in here, this down in here, SMT, that is a weekly SMT, not just a daily SMT. It is also a monthly level, this low. So this could be the market maker buy model that could send us into the high from August, the all-time high. So that reaction that we had yesterday, this huge reaction, that is kind of telltale sign to show us that we could attack this high. So the last line in the sand is the mean threshold of this candle. Once a daily candle goes above that, if I could, I would be in a swing trade trying to attack this. I would just get in there, have a really small tight stop loss because we shouldn't retrace that much, and I would take a swing trade if I could towards this buy side. So yeah, that's it. Wish you guys you have an IG. Yep. The yes. There you go. That's my IG. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. We'll be live back in here. So don't be a degenerate and be safe, you guys. Love you all.